Hi guys, and welcome to the instructional video for your Pre VC2 exercise. I'm Sierra and I am a research assistant at the Zurich University of Applied Sciences Coffee Excellence Center, and I'm also course coordinator for your program. And with me I have Marco.
I'm Marco. I also work at the Coffee Excellence Center. I've been here 10 years and work mainly in the area of extraction. So that means I do projects together with espresso machine manufacturers or grinder manufacturers. Also I do some sensory analysis, and I'm a qualified Q grader, as Sierra is too.
And today we're going to be taking you through your exercise. You will have received a pack in your emails with plenty of instructions, but we're going to show you how to set up so that you can start brewing. So first of all, we're going to run through some dictionary definitions of some key terms that you'll be using a lot. Marco, can you tell us what is TDS?
TDS is a central quality parameter in coffee extraction and assessment. It means total dissolved solids, so it's the amount of solids that end up in your brew.
Perfect. And then the other key term that our students are going to have to know is extraction yield. What's the definition of that?
Extraction yield is used to relate back the TDS and the beverage weight to your coffee dose. So for example, an extraction yield of 20% tells you that 20% of the mass of your ground coffee has ended up dissolved in your cup.
Perfect. So what are our students going to be doing today in this exercise?
Today we'll do an extraction exercise where we'll try to keep the TDS as constant as possible, but vary the extraction levels. So we'll start off with a high extraction yield of around 23-24% is targeted. That is definitely should bring out the over-extracted flavors, so bitterness or astringency might be increased. Then we'll have a medium or ideal extraction yield around 20% with a bit of a coarser grind, and with a still yet coarser grind we'll do an under-extracted coffee in the range of 15% extraction yield.
Perfect. Let's get started. So now I'm going to show you how to set up your Comandante grinder. We've asked all of you to get the same grinder so that you're calibrated across the cohort. So we're going to get started. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to follow the instructions in the link that is in your worksheet, which tells you how to zero your grinder, which is just a term to make sure that everyone is calibrated. And a quick and easy way to see whether or not that's happened, and this is kind of where you adjust your settings, is to see the very first click where your grinder handle stays up. So don't over tighten it. You just need that first click to make sure that it doesn't swing down. And from that point on, you can start counting the number of clicks backwards to get to the very first grind size that we're asking you to hit. So each click is about 30 microns more or less. So you want to get to about 650 microns in general. So that will be about 20 clicks. So we're going to start doing that now. Perfect. And then you're going to be putting your 18-gram dose of coffee in the grinder and grind away. So now you have ground your coffee dose and it's ready to go. And now you're going to put it in your scale, 18 grams. Make sure that when you start, you have tiered your scale. Your filter paper is already pre-rinsed. You can rinse it with just regular room temperature tap water. Also make sure that your kettle is ready to go. And I do believe we are ready to start brewing. So you're just done with your brew now. So what you can do is just remove your filter. You can put that aside. Make sure that you give your coffee a good stir so that all of the particles are well integrated. And then all you really need is just enough coffee to put onto the top of your refractometer. So just a few drops per brew will do. You will be asked to make several different brews to try to hit your target extraction yield. But once you feel like you've got it, just save a little bit of that coffee and put it onto your refractometer. And Marco will be showing you how.
Thanks for brewing. Now we're going ahead to measure the TDS, the total dissolved solids content of our brew. And to do that, we'll start off by zeroing our refractometer. So you just take some pure water. Ideally, it will be really without any dissolved solids. So if you have access to distilled water or distilled-like water, that would be perfect. Otherwise, you could also just take the water you brewed with, the Aquapanna or Lauretana. This is only a deviation of a couple of hundredths. So you just take a few drops of water and use it to cover the whole surface of your glass prism here. Then you cover it with a spoon, for example, as I do here, and do a double click on this blue button while holding the button a bit longer the second time around. So you force it to do a zeroing. So it really tells the refractometer that it should take the measurement of this pure water as the zero value reference. Good, that's done. You can clean it off with a towel. Just make sure there's no liquid left behind. Then you can take a few drops of the well-mixed brew. Again, cover the surface of your prism with it. Cover it with a spoon. In our case, the brew is still a bit hot, so the measurement value won't be stabilizing for a few minutes. So if you just rush it and measure the hot liquid, then you'll always end up with a very low TDS, artificially low. And as you keep on measuring and the sample starts to cool down, and also the temperature sensor built into the refractometer starts to pick up the hot liquid, so we'll also try to compensate a bit. But it takes usually 2 to 3 minutes until your TDS value has fully stabilized. Then if you have your final TDS value, in our case we had 1.29% TDS, you can multiply that with your beverage weight and then divide it by the coffee dose. So in our case it was 323 grams of beverage, and then divided by the 18 grams dose, you end up at an extraction yield of 23.4%. That's it from us.
Perfect. So enjoy, have fun, and record all of your answers into the worksheet and the Excel spreadsheet, and we will see you at VC2 on the 28th of March. Ciao.
Bye.